Speaking of Sentai, let's go talk about this thing that's been on my social media for like God knows how long. This shit's been like blowing up on my feeds. So, just earlier today ago, Oricon, a famous like Oricon official delivering entertainment news, Oricon rankings, music, anime, comedy, movies, etc. It's like a really prestigious like Japanese newsletter media site. They posted TV Asahi's Super Sentai series to end broadcast. It has been learned through interviews with related parties that the TV Asahi affiliated Super Sentai series will conclude with the currently airing work. The popular series, which began with Go Ranger in 1975, will draw the curtain on its half-century history. And a lot of people are, shocked, right? Like, yo, what the fuck is going on with Super Sentai, man? This 50-year series is like gonna die? It may seem that way. Like, oh no. Like, oh fucking no. On the 30th, it was announced by an interviewer that will end the currently airing series, which is like Go Juture. So we only got like those to like piggyback off. So there's a lot of like worry, concerns, dilemma, issues that's like going on with like Super Sentai. I mean, I feel like they're changing the name. That's one of the possible reasons. Like, they're gonna be... I mean, there were, like, rumors or, like, leaks going on around about, like, the 51st season. 51st season of, like, Super Sentai. So, there could be, like... The whole thing sounds like an unofficial, like, statement, like, gossip, like, rumor. That Super Sentai is, like, going to end. But is it, like, really, like, going to end? I don't, like... think so. I'm just like being optimistic by saying like, Super Sentai is like eternal. It's not gonna like, fade away or like die. But that's like a strange fucking announcement, right? There are possible reasons that like, yeah, a Super Sentai can, pass away or, be long and forgotten, which could be like, low number in like toy sales or merchandise. It's not reaching like the audience that the Japanese devs of these shows are like expecting like to be. So there could be like plenty of them, and that could be like one of them. I don't think it's like a scare. Yeah, unless it's like Toei, like the big dogs like in charge, that are saying like, yeah, we are announcing the end of the broadcasting of Super Sentai. That is legitimately like fair and game. If Toei, like the god, Super Sentai Kamen Rider, decides to, plug those two shows like respectively, then yeah, we have no control like over that. Didn't Sentai have this like whole Sentai tour? They have like this whole like museum decoration tour space in Japan where people can like go into like that set venue and just witness all of like the 50 years of Super Sentai history. This was like back in like August or like in July when they were promoting that stuff. We even got like the Go Jugers, right, giving like press photo, not press photos. They were taking like selfies and pics of the site just to like, wow, this is an awesome room. Like you see like Goju Unicorn's photos, Sumino's photos of the hall, and it looks super like sick. Yeah, this feels like very like weird. It feels like obviously a reactionary like gut shot. Like, why is like Sentai dying? Sentai is like dying like in a sense, but I don't think so. I think it's more like after doing like research and looking through and like scouring through like articles and through like Reddits and Discord like servers, I don't think so. Rather, it's gonna be like from what I've heard, a rebranding situation, right? They're gonna be like possibly like changing the name Super Sentai series, instead of it being like Super Sentai, would be like something Sentai, you know? Like a complete like name change or overhaul, right? That's what it would like be. That's what I'm like, you know, optimistically like saying. You know, I could be like wrong, unless like TV Asahi and Toei, right, publicly say that out, because there's no like official statement. It's not valid and true as of right now, right? They didn't went on like public. I mean, it was from a Japanese, you know, news publisher site, but we haven't seen like, you know, actually like the people of those two companies say like, oh, Sentai is like that. I don't think so. Let me see like what Kotetsu has to say about this. Kotetsu? I feel like they're doing a social experiment. If that be the case, this would be like a negative reception of like a social experiment to say like the wording or the phrasing like Super Sentai is like dead though. Right? They could have like said something very much more like specific, you know, than probably to like shock and alarm.
大変だ。なんだよ。ようやく仕事終わったんだからのんびりさせろよ。スーパー戦隊シリーズが終了するって。はあ？お前何言ってんだよ。今日はエイプリルフールじゃねえぞ。ていうかエイプリルフールだったとしてもそんなに面白くないぞその嘘。本当だってほらネットニュースでも話題になってるよ。
It's trending on the news sites everywhere.
嘘だろ。でもこんな
Oh, full form the comments. Gotcha.
さすがにいやありえないよな。でもさ俺も信じたくないけどありえないって言い切れる？確かに視聴率とか売り上げとか未だに挽回はできてないけどでも売り上げだったら50じゃ結構検討してる方だしでも危険な状況なのは間違いないよね。いやだってそんなわけ俺だって信じたくないよ。でもいや待て白倉さんのことだ。スーパー戦隊シリーズが終わりでこれからはハイパー戦隊シリーズになりますとかだろ絶対こういうのは。
Right?
といいけどまだ
Until there's like an official announcement.
戦隊が終了するなんて俺は信じねえ。
Right, I'm not believing that Super Sentai is like ending. Yeah, but for the most part is like speculation. That's what it really is. What if let's say that they withdraw from TV, like they're doing like they are coming different channel. They could like take into effect like let's say for instance like Kamen Rider. Right, like Kamen Rider is pushing on like the international like stream, like doing on like Twitch and stuff like that, but they could have like said that like a little bit. I mean, Kamen Rider, from what I've like researched, was originally going to be like, you know, metal like heroes or some shit like that. I think so. I could be like wrong. So they like did like a name change and Kamen Rider became like the name stayed like forever. Before Kamen Rider, there was like Metal like Heroes, and then after the name change from Metal Heroes to Kamen Rider, it just became Kamen Rider non-stop. Sentai could do something like that, which is like they could have like a complete like name change overhaul, right? It's like it's not going to be called like Super Sentai, where back in the day I think it was just called like Sentai. Until like after Battle Fever, then the name changed to be like, let's say you watch your favorite show on a TV channel, but when you go to watch it again, you realize that it appeared on a different show, but not from the one that you watched. In a way, maybe it's not gonna be like from like let's say a different network to another like television network. I think it's just gonna be like sticking to the same like TV Asahi, like how it's always been. I don't think they're gonna like change that to a drastic like degree though, right? Because again, all of this is like it's speculation, it's rumor, right? We just saw like this announcement on our social media that like Super Sentai series is ending like its broadcast with the current one, Go Juger, right? It's gonna be like the last one. So So obviously, right, the guttural reaction is like, you know, doom and gloom. Like everyone is just super fucking like appalled, mad, astonished, you know, obviously taking this with a rationale of like, you know, truth that Super Sentai is going to be like, you know, ending with Gojuger, but I don't know, right? It's still like far too early to believe in like, you know, anything and everything, you know? We've come in like in an era of like society that motherfuckers will believe that like the bone juice is real. Jesus's bones are real, like in JoJo, and they give you supernatural powers. They believe in like anything. Yeah, that's obviously true, right? There's no way they're gonna make Super Sentai dead. Super Sentai is the reason why Power Rangers was created in the first place and got famous over like in the West, right? Super Sentai is like the architect, right, of how we got Power Rangers over here in the West. It started with Zyuranger. Well, it adapted Zyuranger, and it was, you know, the first of its kind in the West in America back in like in the 90s. That could also be like another thing, which is, you know, the Hasbro bullshit. Like, I could be like wrong on that. Like, Hasbro has like some share or some say in the argument that it could be like tied, but with Super Sentai as it like it is, it's trying to like step away from the Power Rangers nonsense and trying to do like bold new things that Hasbro isn't like brave enough to do, because they're still doing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to this day. It's just like gossip, it's rumor, it's speculation, you know, even though the source of it is credited from an actual news source, right? A credible news source that's been fact-checked. We still don't know, unless an official statement comes out that Sentai is ending, or it's going to be rebranded. If there's going to be like a new Sentai going on, which there are like rumors and leaks going on, but it still is in a fog of confusion. We still don't know what's going on. So my response would be like, I'm hopeful. I don't want to believe it so. I don't want to flat out believe it to be so, unless we see like more proper like evidence. We'll see what happens in the next few days, weeks, months about like this issue. Gojuger and Kamen Rider sets will continue like airing, or at least like Gojuger. Yeah, Gojuger. Kamen Rider, I don't think it's affected that much, but it's mainly Super Sentai. Super Sentai will continue as they would do until the end of Gojuger. Whatever happens like after, we do not know like for certain. So let's like keep our like hopes up, chat, that like, oh, Sentai can live, will like come back.